Y'all are not here yet. I see you on here. There you are. Yeah, just call me the entrepreneur today. I'm 5 minutes or is it 5 minutes? I'm 4 minutes early, which is unusual. Look at how nasty my Apple Watch band is. Why did I choose white? I need a new Apple Watch band. Good morning, Diane, Rita Lynn, Susan, Brenda, Daytona. No, is it Daytona? Yeah. Andale, Living, Life Loving, Judy. Judy. There's two Judys. Judy. At 7 o'clock this morning. Isn't that Andy Griffith? Judy. You know what I'm talking about? So now there's Judy on here. Oh my gosh. Jane. I mean, look how nasty. I'm going to tell y'all something. If you buy an Apple Watch band and you own a farm, do not get white. Do not get white. Shane went outside this morning and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it is freezing." And I am on fire. I'm on fire, so I'm on in sleeveless shirts. It is so hot to me. I don't know. I have not been a good let's see, how do I put this? A girl patient. I have not had, I'm embarrassed to even tell y'all this, but I have not had an exam, a girly exam in 6 years. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. I have had mammograms, but I have not had a girly exam in 6 years. And why I have not is beyond me. I literally hate that going to that doctor. I hate it. And so I have put it off because I moved to Stapleton and married Shane and I didn't have a doctor. And then we moved to Coleman and I didn't have a doctor. And I called to make an appointment to for the doctor. And it was like 8 months out. And I was like, I ain't doing this. And I have got to do it. I've got to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm probably in menopause because I am on fire half the time. So I really need to go to the doctor and make an appointment. But I haven't done it yet. It's not good. And I'm like, well, nobody in my family has breast cancer or cervical cancer, so I have nothing to worry about. That's what I tell myself, which is dumb because it's just dumb. I shouldn't do that. Good morning, Becky and Jackie and Walker and let's see who else joined. Sue, Mary. Oh, I didn't know that. Mary Coker. I know who you are now. I didn't realize that your farm name was that, or not. I guess that's not a farm. I'm sorry. Christy, Lisa, Sydney, LaWanda, Tammy. I have no idea what I'm talking about this morning. This is kind of like a fly by your seat of the pants kind of morning. So whatever comes out of my mouth will spill out of. And I think I said that when I created this event. I said whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth because I have no idea. G and G. Good morning, all of y'all. Okay. Is it 7 o'clock? It is 7 o'clock. Oh my gosh. We're all crazy for being up at 7 o'clock on this live. It's really funny. I was talking to Nico. Nico's Our Brown Farmhouse. And I don't really know a lot about how it works with social media and so forth. And we were laughing because my lives, as far as like social media, like I don't really get paid a lot. I get like $6. It's really funny. And he was like, well, Judy, you need to choose a time to go live that's not like prime time. I said, Nico, I'm at 7 o'clock in the morning. morning. And he was like, really? And I said, yes. And I said, I usually have between 1 and 200 people join me live. He's like, who the heck gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning and does a live? I'm like, your Aunt Judy does, Nico. And he was like, what made you do that? And if you're just joining me and you've never, like, you haven't seen my lives or you don't know me very well, I tell this story for the longest time. Diane and Tammy, y'all can tell me when this started. I'm going to say, Diane and Tammy, have we been doing this for about a year? I don't even know. But for the longest time, it was Diane and Tammy and I for the longest time. And we kind of really, Tammy, and I knew Tammy prior to Sneed's Farmhouse, but it was us live for the longest time. And so, like, we didn't even, like, I didn't have really people follow me in the mornings on Facebook or Facebook and YouTube when I went live. It was just us. And it's over a year. Yeah. I mean, it was like the three of us for the longest time. I mean, I maybe had a couple of people join, and then my page has just grown and grown and grown. And as a matter of fact, somebody goes live at 6 a.m. Wow. It's just, my page has really grown. And I had tours yesterday, and the lady that came, she's been like 5 times to my farm, and she was like, Judy, your page has blown up. I'm like, I know. It's crazy. Like, back when, and this is just if you're a channel like looking for growth, I'll just tell you what I used to do. Back in the day, when Sneed's Farmhouse started, like, it started on social media. December 2019 was when I created my Sneed's Farmhouse page. And I created it because I became a hatchery, which means that they came and tested all my birds so that I could ship eggs across the state line. And so when you get certified, you have to have a hatchery name. And so I did not know that. And when they came out here, they were like, what's your hatchery name? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I have no clue. They were like, well, you have to come up with a name. And I was like, Sneed's Farm. No. I said, this is what I said. I just remembered this. I said Sneed's Zoo. And so I created Sneed's Farmhouse as Sneed's Zoo. And my son, my youngest son, went, Mother, you do not have a zoo. I said, well, what do you call it? And he was like, you have a farm, Mom. It's not a zoo. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to call myself? And he goes, I wouldn't say Sneed's Zoo. I would say Sneed's Farmhouse or something like that, Mother. You make absolutely no sense. And I was like, okay, I'll name it Sneed's Farmhouse. And it's kind of been a bad name, because there's a city that's about an hour from me named Sneed. And there's sometimes when people book a tour, they drive all the way to Sneed because they think I'm in Sneed. And I've had people book a birthday party thinking I'm in Sneed because they live in Sneed. And so, like, it's been a little bit of a hard time because of that. But yeah, my son said, Mother, you do not have a darn zoo, Mother. You have a farmhouse. So I changed it to Sneed's Farmhouse. And so the reason was because I was going to ship eggs. And so I was doing that. And then it's just kind of evolved into, like, because I wasn't doing tours at all then. I was just created it to ship eggs. Well, then there was this local guy that started creating his own feed. And I remember vividly how many followers I had, but I started selling his feed. And so my page started growing because I was selling chicken feed. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I was selling chicken feed out of my house. Well, to make a long story short, that did not work out. And I, when it didn't work out, I was devastated. Like, because I was selling like 7 ton in a month. I was doing really well and I enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden, to make a long story short, it's kind of like he pulled it out from under me. And I felt like my world fell apart. I was so sad. And when I stopped selling his chicken feed, I had 1,600 followers. That's how many I had. And that's when Kalmbach out of Ohio and I started working together, and they began to sponsor me. So it was like Kalmbach gave me, how do I say this? I'm not going to, I want to say this, but this is not what I mean. Like Kalmbach gave me a reason to live. I don't mean live. Maybe it's Kalmbach gave me a reason to keep pushing forward. That's the right thing. Gave me a reason to push forward, because when I stopped selling that guy's feed, I just felt crushed. And like I said, when I stopped selling his feed, I had 1,600 followers. And I wish I can remember what year that was. I want to say it was probably, I'm going to say, I can't remember if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I had 1,600 followers. Okay, so this is what I did. I was a morning person, right? So every morning I would get, because I was determined. It was almost like that guy that I was selling feed for, because he was like real boastful about how many followers he had. He was kind of boastful about it. And I took it on as a challenge. Y'all know me. I was like, I'll show him. I will have more followers than him. Like, it was almost like a revenge. I had a bad attitude, okay? I'm going to tell you, I had a bad attitude. But I was like, Joker, you want to take that from me? Watch this. I had one of those attitudes. And I'm sorry it was a bad attitude, okay? I've changed a little bit, okay? So don't think that I'm still like that. So anyway, so I began every single morning when I got up at 5:30 in the morning. I spent 1 hour marketing on social media. 1 hour every single morning. And marketing was like, I would go to other channels, that like groups that I followed, and I would comment. So my Sneed's Farmhouse name would be out there. I remember going to a photography page, and I would put my photography on there from Sneed's Farmhouse, like my animals. And I got a lot of followers. Oh, Jesus, it's off. We're going to start this crap again. We're going to start this. Anyway, let me let it warm up. So I started going to the photography page, and I would, say, I'm not a professional photographer, but here's some pictures, because I enjoy photography. And so I would put pictures out there of my animals, and then people would start following me. And then, so my page was growing, and I don't remember what it grew to, but then as I was growing and I began to take pictures of me and my animals, it was really photography that got me to where I was, because I would take really good pictures of me and my animals, and people would go, oh my gosh, how did you get that bull to, they would just make conversation. And so then that's when people started saying, can I come visit your farm? Is your farm open to the public? And I was like, no, but and at the time when we moved here, I didn't know anybody. So when people started asking to come to my farm, I'm like, yeah, I have no friends. Come on. Come on. I have no friends. So I was letting people come to my farm for free just because, you know, it made me feel good that people wanted to come see my animals in my farm. I'm like, really? You want to come see my animals? Like, it was just like, I felt honored. And so it got to the point where I started getting busy. And it got to the point, I told you guys this, but let me just tell you, if you're a smart farm opening to the public, do not let people come in your house to go to the bathroom. Listen to your Aunt Judy, because I was doing that. Because people, like a mom would be with their little kid and they're like, do you have a restroom? I'm like, oh, sure, you can go in my house. It's right. As soon as you go into my house, it's right there to the right. And you cannot believe what my bathroom looked like when it was open to the public. It was terrible. And so Shane was like, no one else is allowed to go in our house to the bathroom. Like, you're going to have to come up with something else. I'm like, I know, but if I go rent a porta potty, it's going to cost a lot of money. And then I'm going to have to charge people to come here. He goes, yes, Judy, you are. You've got to get insurance and you've got to rent a bathroom. No more in the house. So I called around and got a porta potty. And so I started charging $10 to come to my farm because I had to get insurance in the porta potty, and it's just grown from there. And it seems like yesterday I hit 10,000 followers, like just yesterday. And I don't even know what I'm at right now. But then I met Jason and Brooke at Cog Hill, and they were like, Judy, you've got to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, really? Like, I got something else to do. Like, don't you understand? I have people pulling in the driveway. I'm trying to do field trips. I'm trying to go into schools. I'm going into libraries. I have Facebook. The last thing I need to do is add something else to my plate. They're like, Judy, you've got to get people to know who you are. So y'all know this because majority of the people on YouTube are Cog Hill people, Cog Hill Farm people. But Jason and Brooke came and videoed my farm, and then overnight I have 13,000 subscribers, and I'm like, Jason, I don't even know how to do a video. It was just like overwhelming. And so then next thing you know, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook. And then I was trying to go live on Facebook. I'm trying to go live on YouTube. I'm trying to get YouTube to know who I am. Facebook knows me, like, because I've been here a while. But YouTube has no clue who their Aunt Judy is, okay? They're learning who their Aunt Judy is. But they, and I was very intimidated by YouTube. On Facebook, I do not have rude comments. I have never just been chewed up, spit out, stepped on Facebook. YouTube ripped me a new one when I first got on YouTube, and I got my feelings hurt. Okay, I got my feelings hurt because people were commenting, like, telling me I was a grease bomb and like my hair was disgusting, or why did you do this? Why did you, like, just beating me up? And so I was like, Jason, these people are not nice to me. And so, like, I had a really hard time. And Brooke would say, Judy, just keep being you. It will come. You will get your own following and it will come. And I'm like, I don't have the patience to be beat up. I'm already killing myself. Brooke, I'm out there sweating my butt off every single day doing tours and birthday parties and field trips and all this stuff. And then I try to make this time to create videos, and then I'm doing it, and then I just get the crap just beat out of me. It was so difficult. But since that time, I think that was in May. I've grown up some. I'm doing better. I'm not getting my feelings hurt. And people on YouTube are so nice to me, or majority of the people on YouTube are so nice to me now because they're getting to know their Aunt Judy. They're getting to know my heart, my desire, my passion behind my farm. They're getting to know me. And I had to make an investment in order to be able to go on Facebook Live and YouTube Live at the same time. I pay $50 a month to do that. Okay. So it's an investment, but it's been so worth it because I'm able to get YouTube to know who I am. And it's been wonderful. I have met some of the greatest friends on YouTube now. And I'm so glad that I did not give up and let negative Nancy's get in the way, because I almost did. I almost gave up and said, I'm not doing this. They're mean. And I decided to go live one time. I went live um and I told YouTube that I was scared of them. I did, because I was like, they need to know how I feel. Like I'm a real person. Like I have feelings just like they do. So I am finally developing wonderful relationships. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call her out by name, but her name is not publicly on here because she doesn't put her real name. But Rita Lynn has become a friend of mine, and I love her dearly. And she sends me letters in the mail, and I'm getting to know her. And I'm so thankful that she cares enough about me to share her story with me, because I've said this many a times, but this ain't all about me, right? Like, if you do not, and I say this constantly because people don't understand, but if you don't comment, I have no clue who you are. But I read your comments, okay? I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have my feelings hurt in the beginning, right? But I read comments, and that's how I get to know you, because I can get to know your personality by the way you respond to my videos and stuff like that. And so, I haven't turned it off yet. We're doing good, y'all. But that's how I get to know you, and I want to get to know my followers, because I want to know what, how do I help you? I mean, I know you don't go live, but how can I help you? Let me talk about subjects that you struggle with. I'll tell you my opinion, not that I'm right, but I enjoy getting fan mail. I enjoy getting letters from you and cards from you, because I love listening to your story. It ain't all about your Aunt Judy. I enjoy knowing your story. So, with that said, that's kind of how I have grown. And my YouTube channel was in a lull just for a little while. And the thing is with YouTube is very creator friendly, meaning, this is what I'm talking about, is if spam comes across your YouTube channel, you start losing followers like that. And what happens is, you think as a creator, if you're like, oh my gosh, I just lost 20 new subscribers. Why did I lose? And it's because YouTube goes through spam, and they don't allow these spam to come into your channel. Facebook, not so much. Not so much. They don't, they let spam come left and right. You guys have seen it on my channel on Facebook. You're so lovely. I would love to get to know you. Will you please send me a friend request, Nancy? And I try my best, y'all, to go out there and delete those, but they're coming so fast that it's hard for me to catch it. But you guys, you guys know well enough not to answer those people. You need to block them, and I block them. But YouTube is wonderful because they don't allow that crap to happen. You don't see any of that on YouTube, and you do on Facebook. So So usually your following on YouTube is pretty much solid, but on Facebook not so much. Okay, what do you guys need to hear from your Aunt Judy today? What are you struggling with? Oh, I'm dropping my glasses. I'm not. What are you on the struggle bus with? What do I need to talk to you about? What what kind? No, it didn't turn off, but that sure did not curl. I am today. Sydney, you need to block them really fast. Yes, Christy, block them really fast because they are on the crazy train. I told you guys I've been proposed to so many times. It is not any. Let me tell you what breaks my heart is these people in other countries because they don't live in a free country like we do. A lot of times because we live in the United States, we don't understand what freedom is. We don't quite get it, and because we've always had it. And I'm getting a lot of people from other countries wanting to come over here to work, and I feel sorry for them. I really do. Um, Lawanda, you're having struggle with getting new followers. Um, I when it comes to YouTube, I haven't quite understood how to get followers. The only thing I know to do is reels. But the problem is when you do reels is you get a lot of spammers. So understand, like if you get 100 new subscribers, know that YouTube's going to take a lot of those away because they're spammers. So just know that. But the only way to do it is reels. All right. Let's see. What do y'all need to talk about? Oh God, what happened with that? That was awful. It's still on. You know what I'm doing today? Y'all are gonna laugh because I need this like I need a hole in my head. Okay, I'm going to get new chickens today. My chickens are not laying either right now. Like I have a gazillion chickens and I might get a dozen eggs. It's because of the weather change. Just know that. Anyway, I'm going to get, I don't know, I think it's 6 to 8 new chickens today. And it's because when I have friends that have chickens, I call them my chicken friends. I know it's weird, but I have this chicken friend that I've known forever, and she has had a change in her life and has had to get Nick, you're so funny. I just saw your message. You need help curling your hair? I know it's weird that I do hair in the morning. It is, Nick. But listen, it's a girl thing. Just listen to what I got. I got some good content here, Nick. You belong here. Just know that. Nick, I saw that you have 11,000 new subscribers or 11 point something subscribers. I'm like, when that happened? Anyway, so she's my chicken friend, and she's got a change in her life. So she needed someone to come get her chickens, and her chickens are her babies. And she was like, Judy, I only trust you with my chickens. Okay, I'll come get them. I need them like I need a hole in my head, but I'll come get them. Mine are going, Nancy, my chickens are going through molt like crazy right now. As a matter of fact, I'll put in my video. Y'all should see this frizzle chickens molt bad. Like they're the worst. If you don't know what a frizzled chicken is, it's like they have different feathering than a regular chicken. It's more like crazy feathers. And so this one frizzle chicken, God love her soul, she is ugly as homemade sin, and she is my favorite chicken because she's so beautiful, but she looks like who to thunk it. God love that baby's heart because she looks ratchet. I mean ratchet. Can you get a thumb? I just saw Cheryl's message about Nick. That is not curling good. I I have been on the struggle bus with my animals because anytime there's a change in weather, you bet your bottom dollar your chickens are going to get sick. I mean, it's just like a nightmare. I don't know why I love chickens so much because they are the hardest to raise ever. Oh my gosh. It is like constant struggle. But I go out there and first of all, Billy Sneed, I called him Billy Idol. He passed away. It was bad. So Ace is now the man of their coop. But I go out there and one of my turkeys has her wings dropped. My peahen has her wings dropped. And I'm like, oh my gosh, about to scream. So I grabbed the wormer. Today is day 4 of worming my chickens. But that's the only thing I could figure what was wrong with them is it was time to worm them. And so sorry, I can't do 2 things at one time. So I've been worming, but I've got the turkey separated and I'm like, please do not die. Please do not die. I have given her LA 200 in case it's something else besides worms. I've wormed her LA 200. Like I've done everything I know to do, but she's separated. And then my peahen, ever since I did catch the peahen and the turkey, and I actually put ivermectin on their skin along with ivermectin in their water, the peahen seems to be doing better. But the turkey is still on the struggle bus. Not sure what's wrong. But y'all know I can't read your comments because I don't have my Meemaw glasses on. But anytime there's a change in weather, if it rains for 3 days, the chickens are going to get sick. If it's too hot, the chickens are going to get sick. Like it's like a constant battle. And what's difficult is when you have like 100 and something chickens and you have to worm them. Well, the only thing that you can do is put the wormer in their water because you can't catch every one of those son of the guns and treat them. If so, you're going to fall out on the floor unless you have like 3 friends to come help you catch them because it's a pain in the butt. So I usually worm them for 5 days. So I have a video coming out. I'm going to tell you the sneak preview. Y'all ready for this? Your Aunt Judy got on the tractor by herself and put the hay up. Yeah, I think I'm going to join a bodybuilding contest because I think I'm all that now. Okay. I did have some supervision. I didn't do it like all by myself out there without Shane, but I did. I'm feeling more confident. I was able to get the gear, like the biggest thing, like, okay, I can't talk and put makeup on the same time. Those dadgum gears on the tractor are a pain in the butt. They don't go, like when you're in a 5-speed, it kind of goes smooth. Well, in the tractor, like everything is backwards. Like in a 5-speed, first is over and up, right? Well, in a tractor, it's over and down. Reverse is down, over, and up. And to get it out of reverse, it's up, down, and then pop it out. It's just backwards. And so I'm in the tractor, right? I'm gonna set the tone for you. So I'm in the tractor. I'm in the farm with the hay on the tractor, and I'm trying to put that big roll of hay into the hayloft, and Shane is screaming. Shane has 0 patience. I don't know how he is a school teacher. I said, listen, Joker, let me just tell you, you don't have to scream at me. You can tell me in a night, Judy, it is not time to be talking about therapy right now. I'm trying to tell you how to do it. But he's so mean when he tells me what to do. You know how men are. They think you should automatically know. So I'm putting the hay into the hayloft. Okay. When you learn to drive a car, y'all help me with this. When you learn to drive a car, what do they tell you? Your hands are at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Always keep 2 hands on the wheel, right? That's what you learn when you drive a car. Okay. So I'm driving a tractor and I'm trying to keep 2 hands on the wheel. And he's screaming because the tractor's loud. He's screaming, put your hand on the bucket lift or whatever it's called. And I'm like, what? He was like, do not put both hands on the steering wheel. And I'm like, why? I mean, I'm thinking in my head, that's what I've been taught my whole life is to keep 2 hands on the steering wheel. And so he's like, he comes over there and he opens the door. He said, Judy, 1 hand here, 1 hand here. You have to be doing it at the same time. And I'm like, Joker, I ain't that freaking talented. I can't be like staring and doing the bucket at the same time. Like, I ain't that talented. And he's like, if you don't learn this, you're not going to be safe on this tractor. Are you listening to me? Because when he starts getting, maybe this is where we go with mental health, but Shane, when he tries to teach me something, he loses his patience with me because he tells me I don't listen to him. And I don't listen to him all the time because he yells. And I'm like, if you would shut your mouth and be nice, I could listen better. But all I can think when he's yelling at me is I have tension because I'm scared of doing something wrong because he's yelling. And then this is what I do. This is where I go wrong. I'm not putting my makeup on. But when he starts that crap and he's mean as a snake, then I go into shutdown. And I ain't listened to a word he said because I'm looking at him like he's a dodo head for yelling. I'm like, la, 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 I can't hear you because you're yelling. La, 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 la. You know, you want to do that because he's yelling. And I'm looking at him like, can't you change your tone of voice with me when you're trying to tell me how to run this tractor? And then we're in the middle of a fight and I'm trying to learn. But I feel like now that I know the basics as in I know how to put the tractor in gear. I know how to put the brakes on. I know how to put the emergency brake on. I feel like I can do the bucket myself. But he's like, you will bend the spear. The spear is a little thing that goes on front of the tractor that you stick the spear in to lift up the hay. He thinks I'm going to bend that. And I'm like, but you told me in the beginning that if I break anything that you could fix it. And he was like, Judy, I do not want to fix the hay spear. Please do not bend the hay spear. But this is what I noticed. Okay. You two people, I love you with all my heart. Okay. But listen to me. Majority of my following on YouTube is from Cog Hill Farm. So I get compared to Brooke all the time. Brooke is one of my best friends. I love her with all my heart. And I try to be Brooke, but I ain't Brooke. I'm your Aunt Judy, right? And people are like, you need to get Brooke to teach you how to do this. And listen, I would give anything if Brooke would come here and teach me how to drive this tractor because I believe that Brooke would have a lot better patience with me than Shane. Because Shane is a mean snake and Brooke is not mean. But the thing is with Brooke, and this is what I went back and watched some of her videos about her using the hay. And I'm like, okay, what does Brooke do? I try to watch her videos and go, okay, she's picking it up like this. She's doing this. I'm trying to, like, if she knew that I was watching her videos, trying to watch how she does the hay, but that's how I learn because I am a visual person. You can tell me all day long, but I need to see it. I need to see it. So I've been watching Brooke. Okay, this is what Brooke has to do. Brooke picks up the hay And her hayloft is one of these round things that sit on the ground. So she has to lift the hay up and just over and dump it. Okay. Shane built this hayloft with me that has a cover on it. So when I put the hay, I have to go into this little thing. I don't just dump it. I have to put it in a certain way. And I'm like, Jason, I need you to build or weld Brooke a hayloft like mine because I'm having a hard time going, what would Brooke do? Because a lot of people that follow me on YouTube, they're like, Brooke does this, Jason does this, da 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 da. Like, you need to do that. And I'm like, y'all, I'm Aunt Judy, okay? Like, I would love to be Brooke Smith, but I ain't. I'm Judy Sneed. Okay. I learn in a whole different way. I don't know. Brooke, I don't know how she learns. Maybe she learns by reading. I don't know. But I've started going to YouTube because Brooke has a different tractor than me. Okay. So things work a little different. I don't know if she has a clutch. I need to ask her. But, dealing with that daggum clutch is a nightmare. And I find myself wanting to put my foot on the clutch all the time because I'm scared that I need to stop. But anyway, so I'm doing better, but I'm not like I have to accomplish this before hunting season. Hunting season starts in October, but hay has to be put out every week. So I have probably 3 more weeks to learn how to do this. But I am feeling more confident. But I need Shane to change his attitude. Okay, so let's talk about that. Now we'll go into now we'll get the preaching stick and talk about how to change your spouse's attitude. Okay. I don't have all the keys to this, but this is what I have found. And you know that everyone is different, right? So, like, every situation's different. But if you have that spouse that has like zero patience when they try to teach you something, this is what I have found that works for me. I'm bad about I normally I don't like when he's being a total hole. Okay. I usually am not one back. I am not one for confrontation. I am more of like I go into shutdown. Okay. That's what I do. I don't yell back. Like, if he's ugly, I'm not yelling back. Sometimes when I've just had it, my red hair comes out, my anger comes out, and I will pop off. But 99% of the time, I go into shutdown, okay, which is not good. Because what I do is I'm gonna, y'all know I love him, okay, but I'm gonna like tell y'all this one situation that happened and how I was able to handle it. Not that I'm right, okay. Let's see, let me think. Okay, this particular day, I think it was last Sunday. All right, I had worked my butt off all day. Okay, I had I had a tour at 10 o'clock. They showed up at 9:15. That's like bad for me because because I get up in the mornings. This is my routine. I get up at 5:30. I fix Shane's lunch, but if it's the weekend, obviously I don't have to fix his lunch. But I have to drink 2 cups of coffee. Okay, this is probably too much information, but I have to drink 2 cups of coffee, and I have to sit here. I have, and this is another thing. I don't know if you can relate, but I have IBS. Okay, and IBS was caused by stress. Okay. And if you don't have IBS, you probably don't understand what the concept that I have to do. But I have to do the same thing every day or I will poop in my pants. I know that's disgusting, but I have to do this. And I'm sorry that I have gone there with y'all. And I know that's too much information, but I have to set the platform for y'all. Okay. So you have to understand I have severe IBS. So I have to drink 2 cups of coffee and sit here for 1 hour until I have to go to the bathroom. And then once I go to the bathroom, I'm good. But if I get out of routine and have to be somewhere early in the morning, I throw my whole routine off and my whole system will be messed up. And I suffer for like 3 days afterwards because I did not do my morning routine. It's bad. It is bad, but it's something that I have to do. Okay. Sorry to set that platform, but this particular day was last Sunday. And I got up and I was drinking my 2 cups of coffee and hay had to be put out. Okay. So I said, Shane, we've got to put hay out. And he always says to me, you're going to have to learn how to put this hay out by yourself. I can't always be here to do it, Judy. These are things that you're going to have to learn. Well, I was doing my sitting down for 2 hours and hay had to be put out and he was having to leave. And I said, do you mind going and put hay out? Well, you're going to have to help me. And then I wanted to pop off and go, you need to learn how to do it yourself. There's going to be times when you have to put the hay out and I can't help you. Like I wanted to pop off and say that, but I didn't. So I had to get up and go help him with hay. So it knocked my whole morning routine off. So I'm in fear, of doing tours and stuff like that because I don't know what my body's going to do. Okay. So anyway, so that's what happened that morning. So then I had a tour at 10 o'clock. Well, they show up at 9:15. So my whole entire morning is shot to where and back because I have morning chores I have to do before I get started. And I'm trying to do water and feed and let out and all this stuff. So I'm stressed. So that means when people get here early, I haven't ate breakfast because I had to put hay out and do animals. So then I haven't ate breakfast. So then 10 o'clock, 9:30, 9:15, they pull in the driveway and I'm like, oh God, now I don't get to eat breakfast. So then I do the tour from 10 to 12. Well, then I haven't ate breakfast and it's time to eat lunch. And what happens is sometimes people don't leave at 12 o'clock. They want to stay afterwards. And then that means I haven't ate lunch and I have a tour at 2 o'clock. So then I haven't ate breakfast. Now I haven't ate lunch. And now it's time for 2 o'clock tour. So I'm grabbing a protein bar and I'm running out there because I'm doing a 2 o'clock tour and I'm trying to be on top of my game, right? So I go out there and I have a tour from 2 to 4. So you see how my day's gone so far. Then at 4 o'clock on Sunday, Haley's pulling in the driveway because I told her that I would do the podcast, I guess I should say. Haley is a 17-year-old girl that's asked me to help her talk about mental health because she wants to spread awareness because she struggles. So I told her. So then the morning tour stays late. I haven't ate lunch. The 2 o'clock tour comes 2 to 4. I do that. Haley's pulling in the driveway, and then I have to record from 4 to 5 or 5:30. Okay. So I've ate a protein bar all day long. Okay. It's bad. So then Haley leaves at 5:30 and you would think, oh, good, Judy can get, or 5:30, 6 o'clock. Oh, okay, the day's over. No, the day ain't over, jokers, when you have a farm, because then you have to go put animals to bed and I feed at night. So I did not get into the house until 7:30 and I had to take a shower. And so it was a bowl of cereal day. Okay. Now let's talk about Shane's day. All right. Shane, bless his soul, told my son if he would come over that he would saw wood with him to give him wood for a lean-to. So Shane got up and did hay. Then my son come over, and him and my son sawed hay in the scalding hot heat. And then sweet Shane said, "You know what? Come on, let's go to your house. Let's build the lean-to." Okay. Shane is one of those people that flies by the seat of his pants too. Shane can say have no plans to build a lean-to and can build a lean-to in a day. So he got my son and said, "Let's go to your house." And Shane built a lean-to for him in a couple of hours. That's how Shane rolls. So Shane comes in at 8 o'clock and he's tired because he's been sawing wood and building a lean-to all day. I'm tired because I haven't ate all day. I've had people here all day. So I'm ill and Shane's ill. So you see where the disaster's going with this? So I get out of the shower. Shane's not home yet. It is 8 o'clock. Shane is not home from helping my son. And I was thinking in my head, that was really nice that Shane is helping my son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even his kid. And he's, helping him, showing him how to saw log, showing my son how to build a lean-to. He's going out of his way for my kid. That is so nice of him. And I was feeling really love in my heart for Shane because I was like, what stepdad does this? He is so nice to my kids. So Shane comes in the door and I'm feeling, oh, he's so sweet, right? No, that joker comes in the door and he goes, this is the exact words he said. "There ain't no damn supper around here." And I was like, what did he just say? Okay. I was like, what? And so he was pissed because I had not fixed supper. And I was like, does he have any clue what I've done today? And he's thinking in his head, does she have any clue what I've done for her kid today? So he's ill and I'm ill. Okay. And this becomes a total disaster. So he pops off at the mouth because I did not fix supper. And I could have popped back. And I could have said, what do you mean, Joker, by saying I don't have supper fixed? Do you have any clue what I flipping did today? Okay, I could have said that. But I sat here in the bed and I didn't say a flipping word. I was so mad that I couldn't even talk. So I sat here and let him pop off at the mouth. And I sat here. And see, this is the difference in a man and a woman, probably. But a man says what he has to say, and then he don't think nothing else of it. And then us women stew over it for days. So I'm still like, I go to bed mad. I wake up mad, and he don't even know what he said. Like he's like totally forgotten the situation. But I'm mad. So thank goodness I had counseling Monday morning. Okay, because I was like, I am so mad. Like, I'm so mad that he doesn't respect me and know what I do around here. And it was hard for me to focus on what he had done for my son because he popped off at his mouth and had diarrhea of the mouth. Okay. So I had counseling and she was like, how'd your weekend go? And I'm like, oh, I'm mad. Let's just dive straight into Sunday. So I began to tell her the whole story. And she goes, why did you just sit there? I said, because I was so mad. Because Shane is the type of person when he pops off, and if I pop back, he'll get louder and say something even uglier. Okay. So like I don't say anything because I don't want it to escalate. And so I just keep my mouth shut. And she said, Judy, that's not good. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? When he acts like that, what am I supposed to do? And she said, you're supposed to get up and remove yourself from the situation. And I was like, where am I going? We live in the same house. Hang on. I feel pressure when I do this in front of y'all. I always jack it up. Look how jacked up that is. It's as good as it's going to get. I don't care. Hang on. I'm really liking this Kylie lipstick. My lips are not even. I don't care. Oh, so anyway, she said, I don't want you to go into shutdown. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, I want you to get up and walk away. And I was like, where am I going? Like, we live in the same house. And she said, I want you to get up and walk into another room and sleep in the other bed. That's not me, okay? That's not me. But she said, you've got to show him that behavior is unacceptable. And she was like, you've got to walk away from him when that happens. Don't just sit there and keep your mouth shut because you're getting ran over. That's what she told me. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so just walk into another bedroom and sleep in the other room. Okay. I will tell you that I have tried that before one time. And I will tell you that, okay, Shane is not good. I call him the Fonz. Did y'all ever watch the Fonz? Happy Days? You know, the Fonz. And you know how the Fonz could never say he was sorry? He goes, you know what I'm talking about? If you're not from my time, you don't know what I'm talking about. But this was this guy. He was cool. And he never could say he was sorry. So when he was trying to say he was sorry, he'd go, he would never say sorry, but he would like that is Shane. Okay. Shane is not going to say he's sorry. Okay. I bet I've heard I'm sorry once in his life. I don't know if that's a man thing. I don't know. But anyway, he does not say he's sorry. But I went to the other bedroom and like 15 minutes later, he comes in. Why are you sleeping in here? I said, because you're mean. And he said, he comes in there and he lays down beside me and he's like, Judy, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, well, I just don't like that behavior. And I just needed to get away from it because you're ugly. You say the most ugliest things. And he was like, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I just popped off. So it does work. And I had forgotten that works. So the next time he's ugly like that, I'm just going to walk to the other bedroom. And of course, I'm scared there's going to come a time sleep in the other room. I don't care. I don't know. But now that was my side of the story. Now let's talk about Shane's side of the story. Okay. That sweet soul got up, put hay out. Okay. He didn't make me put the hay out. He put the hay out. And then he went out of his way to teach my son how to saw wood. And I'm going to tell you something. When I was watching him with my son, I was just staring because I was in the middle of a tour. And I was just looking at him and I was like, oh my God, I just love him. Look at him with my kid. You know what I'm talking about, women? You know how you do that to your husband? Like when they're, really good with your kids and you see them playing with your kids or whatever. It's just like, oh. So that's what I was feeling the entire day. And when he told me that he was going to my son's house to help him build the lean-to, I know Shane well enough to know that I knew the lean-to was going to be built in a day. Like I know Shane. And so it was just like, oh, you go on, I'm here. But see, he didn't see what I did all day. Okay. He was probably thinking, Judy's loving me for doing this. Cause like where I was like googly eyes looking at him helping my son, it was like he was all googly eyes knowing that he was doing that for my son. You know what I mean? Like it meant a lot to him for me to see him in action, right? So it was kind of like we're both giving each other googly eyes, whatever. That's the only way I know how to explain it. So then he's been in the hot sun all day. He's starving, right? And he comes home and there's no supper. And he's like, I because he probably didn't eat lunch either. Okay. So that's where he went wrong and I went wrong, is there was no boundaries put up and go, I need to go eat. Like, I have a tour at 2 o'clock. I would love for y'all to stay all afternoon, but I have got to go eat lunch. I have to prepare myself for the next tour because I have 2 more hours of work. Like, I should have said that, but I didn't, because I feel like I'm in an uncomfortable situation. And Shane should have taken care of himself and ate lunch, because he was fixing to go in that blazing heat again to help my son put up a lean-to. So he comes home starving and he just popped, you know. And a lot of times, we do that when we're starving to death and we've worked ourselves to death and we've been in the heat all day. So he was thinking in his head, Judy's loving me for doing this. She's going to have me a nice meatloaf and cream potatoes and black-eyed peas and some onion and cornbread. She's going to have me the most delicious supper ready for me when I come home from helping her with her kid. That's probably what he's thinking. And I disappointed him because I didn't do any of that. Okay. So when I talked to my counselor about it, and she goes, okay, Judy, and I talked to you guys about this. What can you fix? I can't fix Shane popping off, saying the most ugliest things to me that he doesn't even mean. He doesn't mean it. Shane loves me unconditionally. Shane puts me up on a pedestal and treats me 99% of the time wonderful. So, Judy, what can you control? And I was like, myself. I know the answer to this. I can control myself. And she's like, okay. So you can control yourself. So what can you do differently? What is going wrong? What is going wrong? And I said, I'm overextending myself. I'm like, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning and I'm not stopping. I'm doing tours and I'm trying to make other people happy, and I'm trying to pay for this farm, and I'm trying to do all this stuff, and I'm trying to help this 17-year-old girl do social media, and but I'm forgetting my husband and I'm forgetting myself. And that's what I told her. I'm like, I'm all out of balance. I was like, I sit here and preach about balance, and I'm all out of balance, and I've neglected myself, and I've neglected my house, and I've neglected because this one day I did everything for everybody else and forgot myself and forgot my spouse. So she said, how can you fix it? And I was like, I don't know. How are you going to fix it, Judy? And it took me a minute, but I said, I need to slow down. And she said, how are you going to slow down? She goes, do you want to close your farm for 3 months and slow down? Because I have my dad coming up with surgery, right? So it's going to be even more out of balance. She's like, do you want to close your farm for 3 months? And I said, no, I have to pay for this. Like, I have to pay for this farm. I'm scared to close for 3 months. I'm scared if I close 3 months, then it's going to be hard for me to build it back up. And she said, okay, well, what are you going to do? And she said, when are you struggling? I said, it's the weekends. The weekends are hard for me because I'm trying to balance everything. And like, my grandson's birthday was yesterday, and I didn't get to go to his birthday party because I was doing tours. Now, how sad is that? Because I won't slow down. So after talking to her and realizing what I was doing, and I was able to take the situation of Shane being a butthole and me killing myself, I was able to break it down. So sometimes when you're in a situation and you're like, he is so ugly, he just says, we ain't got no damn supper around here. I could have just stuck on that and go, he is so ugly. But she was able to bring me to the situation, go, let's break it down. Let's break it down. He was tired. He overextended himself. You were tired. You overextended yourself. And this is what happened. This is what happened. So that day, I decided that I cannot do 2 tours a day. I can't. I can't do 2 tours a day because I have to be able to put hay out. I have to be able to eat breakfast. I have to be able to come and go to the bathroom. I have to be able to eat lunch, and I want it's important for me. I enjoy cooking supper. Because Shane, when I cook supper, he's like, he feels loved when I cook supper. And I don't know if your husband does this, but like when I cook supper, he's like, Judy, this was the best supper ever. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. He is so grateful. And he does not miss one day when I cook supper about being grateful. He is so kind and friendly to me because he knows I went out of my way for him. But see, he doesn't feel that way when I'm giving all my energy to the farm and killing myself. He like forget because I've left him out, and he feels left out. And so I changed my schedule and I'm only doing tours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 o'clock. And I'm doing it for my own health. And I'm doing it for my marriage. I'm doing it for my stepdad. I'm doing it for my kids. My grandkids, so I can go to his birthday party. Like I'm doing it for my family because my family needs their Aunt Judy, just like these people need their Aunt Judy. But there's literally one of me. And so I can't run wide open. For the past 3 years, I have ran wide open. Like, like I'm trying to do it all and I can't. There's only one of me. And so I've realized that something has to change. And the great thing about Brooke and Jason talking me into doing YouTube and my Facebook page growing is that I can supplement my income and I can give up one tour and be a wife and be a daughter and be a grandmother and not have to kill myself every day, day in, day out, sweating my what off, trying to make ends meet to pay for this farm. And so you see how you can take a situation and break it down. And instead of concentrating on that joker was so ugly, it was not even funny. And I'm never forgiving him. I'm going to hold on to this anger for 1 week. You know what I'm saying? And even though what Shane said was wrong, he was ugly. It takes at least one person to stop and go, okay, I need to break this down. And I should have walked away and not taken because that was kind of mental abuse to say that. It was not nice at all. But sometimes we do that. We pop off about to people that we love the most because we know they're not going to leave us, right? And we find ourselves doing that. But oh wait, I'm talking and I forget what I'm doing. But if you take the situation down, first of all, don't just look at the situation from your shoes. Get in their shoes. What are they really saying? When they walk in and say, there ain't no damn supper, what is he trying to say? What is he, does he really mean that? Not really. Shane's not ugly like that. Shane was just tired. Shane has he is uh he's pre-diabetic. So sometimes his blood sugar drops and when he goes without eating, he gets angry and I do too. When I go without eating, I am mean as I am mean as a snake. And I was tired and just not feeling. I'm like, God, I've overdone today. I haven't ate. I haven't taken care of myself. I'm all out of balance. So I was ill. He was ill. And then we took it out on each other. So sometimes when that happens, you have to look at the big picture. what is Shane trying to say to me? What am I trying to say to Shane? And basically, we both overdid. Like Shane, and we talked after I was able to talk this situation through with my counselor. I was then able to stop and go, Shane, let's talk about Sunday. You overdid. Shane overdid because he should have cut wood and stopped. But he overextended himself the second that he said, let's go to your house and build the lean-to. He tried to cut wood and build a lean-to in one day, and he did it. And then there was me that overextended myself. You know, I'm trying to do too much in one day. And so once I realized that, you know, I was able to go, what is my ownership in this? And sometimes when you're in a situation where there's a disagreement, you have to stop and go, what is my ownership in this? What is my spouse trying to say to me? What is my spouse? And Shane was trying to say is, I just did all this for your your kid, and I'm trying to be a rock star dad for our son, and I did, and I'm just hungry, and I just want to be appreciated. And I was like, and if I would have stuck in just like what I was trying to say, I've worked my butt off to pay for this farm, and I'm killing myself. Don't you see what I do? And neither one of us, we were only in our own bubble. We weren't seeing it from our spouse's situation. And sometimes you have to be mature enough, one of you have to be mature enough to go, okay, let's stop. Let's like cussing each other out. It's not the answer. Or, first of all, I would never do that. That's not my nature. But shutting down wasn't the answer either, because then I'm letting him run slap over me. You know what I mean? That's not the answer. So I had to learn, what do I do when my spouse is out, like just acts like that? I have to walk away. And I have to go get my pillow and go to the bedroom and go, that behavior is not, I don't have to say a word. Like going back, what do you mean you're separating? Let me just tell you. Let me tell you, Joker, you talk like that to me again, I'm going to whoop your... Okay, I could have done that, but I didn't, because that's not my nature. I don't snap back. I am not going back with that. But it wasn't right for me to sit it out either, right? It wasn't right for me to sit here and allow him to act like that. That's not right. I have to show him that I'm not going to accept that behavior. And by walking away and going to the other bedroom, I'm telling him that that's not going to be tolerated in this house. Like, you can't just walk in the house and say that. I don't care how hungry you are. I don't care how tired you are. You can't walk in the house and say that. Like, that is not acceptable. So I've had to learn how to handle it. And I am not a fighter. I'm a friend. I didn't come here to fight. I've come for peace. So have y'all been in situations like that? So my takeaway for y'all, is slow down. I serve God. I don't know who you serve. I talk about your higher power, whoever you serve, but you have to, this is for myself, is there's a priority list. It's God, your spouse, your children, your family, your work. And it goes just like that. So if you find yourself neglecting God, slow yourself down and get your priorities straight. Now, I don't know what your priority list looks like. Yours may look different from mine, but this is what mine looks like: God, spouse, kids, family, work. I put work at the top. And I find myself doing that all the time because Sneed's Farmhouse is so important to me. And I have to reprioritize my life a lot because I get all out of whack so many times. And I'm like, I have now put my work above my spouse. It went, God, I don't even know if I may have knocked God out of the equation. Okay. Work came first. Doing tours. I can't say no. Instead of going, y'all, I need to go eat lunch. I have a tour at 2:00. I need to go eat lunch. I should have said that, but I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings and tell them that they had to leave. Right. So I am all out of whack. So sometimes you have to have balance and you have to get yourself reprioritized and go, okay, Shane is right the next in line after God. And so I should have been more planned because when I know that I have a busy day, it may seem really like, why can't Shane cook? Okay. You know how I talked about the languages of love? My language of love is when people give to me. It makes me feel so loved when people go out of their way to find me a special something. Okay. When you go out of your way for me and you think of this special card that you set in Hallmark. Okay. I don't even know if there's a Hallmark. Maybe I should say Walgreens. When you sat in Walgreens and you picked out the perfect card for me, it means the world to me. Or you take the time to write a letter, you take the time to find me a special gift. That's how I receive love. Shane's receiving love is when I don't know why it's so important to him, but his thing, he feels love from me when I cook for him. And I've told you this before. I fix his lunch every single night. Like he gets leftovers for lunch the next day. So I put all the leftovers in the container and put it in the refrigerator. Okay. If I don't put that daggum container in his lunchbox in the morning, I did not cook. I did not fix his lunch. Even though the night before I put everything in the container and put it in the refrigerator. If I don't take it out of the refrigerator in the morning and put it in his lunchbox, I didn't fix his lunch. Why didn't you fix me lunch today? I'm like, makes no sense to me. But that's how Shane receives love. He feels so loved when I get up in the morning and take that dadgum box out of the refrigerator and stick it in his lunchbox. It makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's how he receives love. He loves it when I take care of him and cook. I don't know why. I don't know if your spouse does that, but it is so important to him. I don't know why, but it does. That's how he receives love. And so in order for me to help him feel loved, I need to be better organized. So on the day that I know that I'm going to be busy, I stick something in the crock pot. So I have to be better organized to go, okay, I need to stick a roast in the crock pot today because I have a birthday party from 2 to 5. And I'm going to be too tired to fix supper. So go put some soup in the crock pot. Go stick a lasagna in the oven. I don't know. Go whatever. But that's how Shane doesn't feel like he's loved. He doesn't feel like he's a priority when I'm Sneed's Farmhouse all day long, 90 to nothing. He feels left out. Okay, he does. And so I have to recognize how Shane receives love so that I give him the love he needs. When he goes and builds me something, listen, he could buy me a 10-carat diamond ring or he could build me a goat barn. And that goat barn is going to weigh out. And he knows that. So he will go make me something. He made me. I wish I could go get it. Shane made me a ring. He welded me a ring. And he welded me a bracelet. I don't know if I told y'all that, but he made me. He went and got stainless steel and welded me a bracelet and a ring. He could have given me a 10-carat diamond ring, or he could have welded me a ring, and I would have much rather had the welded ring that I can hold on to the rest of my life and say, Shane made me a ring. You know what I'm saying? So and he knows that. So he knows, like, in order to, like, if he goes and makes me something, he knows I'm going to be like over the moon top, like in love. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, oh Lord, it is 8:15. I am overextending myself. Sorry that I got sideways and got into this conversation, but I hope that you gained something from today. And I hope that you have a takeaway. All right. I love you guys. I'm sorry I kept you so long. I didn't realize what time it was. I'll go back and read your comments when I go finish doing animals. This morning I'm doing animals, and then I'm going to get chickens, and my dad's here. I will not be going live Wednesday. Wednesday, I will be leaving my house about 6:00 in the morning to take to my dad to have his biopsy. Please be thinking about me on Tuesday if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm in a situation Tuesday that's really hard for me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you should go watch my other lives. But anyway, so I've got a lot going on this week with my dad. So please keep us in prayer. His surgery is the following Wednesday. So the next 2 Wednesdays, I will not be live because I'm dealing with him. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. All right. You have 2 choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope today that you learned something about taking a situation down and breaking it down, because when you break it down, it helps you learn to dance. I'll see you next time. Love you guys.